The Career Trail. Your success journey begins here.
This week on Career Trail, who is our guest? She is married with a beautiful daughter. She's a Ghanaian journalist, an ace broadcaster, and an author. She's a product of Tema Community 8 No. 1 Basic School, Infantiman Girls School, Ghana Institute of Journalism, now Unimac, and City University, based in London. She's passionate about issues of women, hence leading to the Girl in Need Foundation. She has received numerous honors, including Most Inspiring Woman in Media and the United Nations Millennium Development Goals MDGs 4 and 5 Ambassador Award 2012. Following the Accra Business Schools Award of a Fellowship of the Boardroom Institute (FBI), she was bestowed with the new title Doctor. Our guest for this week's edition of Career Trail is Oheneyere Gifty Auntie. Last week, we introduced the premiere episode of the Career Trail Season 2, diving into the media journey of Oheneyere Dr. Gifty Auntie.
My TV career as a presenter started 13 February 1997.
Stay glued to your set as we explore the second part of the interview, which focuses on her journey as an author.
Let's talk about life after GBC. So what next after GBC?
Okay, so I always told myself that after leaving GBC, I'm not going to work for anybody. I'm going to work for myself. So whilst at GBC, I started a Standpoint TV program.
Okay.
And the Standpoint was born out of frustration. I tell people it was anger. I went to do my master's in London City University. My journalism lecturer was called Christabel Kane. She was the first female presenter to be on BBC World, not BBC World, when they became international. And she was once married to, I think, Ugandan, so she was very much into the African and all that. And I was also, I think, the only journalism student there who had the working experience. So we bonded, and she even wanted me to be her TA after my course, my master's. And I said no, I wanted to come back to Ghana, you know. Apart from the fact that I'd been bonded by JBC, I also felt, I'm a Ghanaian, you know, I love Ghana, you know. It's not the Ghana I wish it is, but I've always been, I feel I've had something to contribute to Ghana. And my father instilled that patriotism spirit in me as well. So I said I wanted to come. I said, okay, then promise me that when you go back, you're going to do something, you know, something better, something greater for the women of Ghana and Africa. Okay, she knew about me starting the Pen Ladies Club and all that. So she said that, you know, to me, and I came back really on fire. So the breakfast show, I tried to get women on, and I tried to do women's story, human interest story, but it was quite frustrating, you know. But so I wanted to create a platform where women could come and express their opinion, their views, you know, without any barriers. I also wanted to prove, those times, the few of us who were very vocal and talking about politics and so-called tough, you know, were being called names and rumors all about. So I wanted to prove that, listen, there are more women who are doing this. So that's what made me start the Standpoint TV program. But I wanted it to be a partnership with GBC, but God bless the Director General then. Again, I thought he was being mean to me, but he also told me that, listen, GBC needs money. If you can do this, go and find money, buy airtime and do it. And I started small. So from day one, the Standpoint was started, it was first aired on 11th July 2008. I am very good with dates, you know.
At that time I was born.
At that time. So the Standpoint will be 16 years this July. So we started. That's where we started the Standpoint. So after a while, I felt, listen, it was getting a bit conflicting. You know, I was getting invitation to come and speak at places and be at programs, and to be fair, I needed to move out. So on 31st of December 2013, I sat on TV and told the viewers of GTV News that thank you very much, but adios. I am gone. I'll see you on the other side. I
Wow.
left and I moved to this premises where I already had my office and my studio ready to roll.
Looking at how passionately you are about journalism, someone would ask, do you face challenges? Because it looks like you're good at what you do.
Oh, Lord. You see, that's what makes the difference. When you love what you do, when you believe in what you do, when you're willing to accept the mistakes, your shortfalls, and correct it and learn, know that you don't know it all. You keep learning. I still learn from you younger ones. The challenges are many. I mean, I tell people that my time, they used to cartoon us in newspapers, so it wasn't just on social media. So when people started the trolls and the name calling on, it didn't start today. They started cartooning me. In fact, my first appearance on TV on that Thursday, 13th of February 1997.
Wow.
The
it
Monday.
looked like you did history.
Well, I did history for O-level anyway.
Okay.
The Monday was the 13th. The Monday was I think the 16th. Was it 17th? Yeah, because Friday was 14, 15, 16, 17th. Monday was 17th. 17th February 1997. A magazine came out. I used to have it until Flood did me in 2011, and I lost that magazine. They used to call it radio and TV magazine. They described me as beautiful enough for the set, but not intelligent enough for the show. That's how they described me.
What was their reason?
They said, you see, you know how I got into TV that day? I was going to be a floor manager that day. And even that was exciting for my dad already, because at least my name was going to appear, floor manager, Gifty, and is going to be on screen. And I was already excited. So I woke up very early, got to GBC very early. None of the producers or presenters were there. And I went to Circle. I joined the car that was coming to Circle to pick up the newspapers. And then I started reading when we when we got back. I started reading, I read the newspapers as well. So when it was time for the main presenter, the breakfast show was built around Madame Beatrice Edu. Yeah, so she was the main character. I think it was breakfast show with Beatrice Edu. So she got in and she had to hurry up to do her makeup. And so I went to her and started briefing her about what the headlines were saying. He said, you know what, Gifty, just put powder on your face and then go join me on the set. So you give me a summary of the headlines and I will discuss with my panelist. And that was it. And I took up that challenge because I was prepared. I didn't say that I'm just going to be a floor manager. And floor manager, what have I got to do with newspapers? Floor manager, what have I got to do with going to Circle with? No. So I always tell the young people, wherever there's an opportunity, when you get to a place, even if you get there, you are going to interview for the manager of the company. You get there and you see the place is dirty and there's a broom there. If you can't sweep, if you can find out who is the cleaner and tell the person, get involved. You never know how far it will take you. That is what, that singular act. I am on TV today and I'm celebrating 27 years. Because one, I had a father who believed in me and woke me up. Two, I allowed my upbringing to have a better part of me by getting involved, by believing in service, by believing in, getting involved in whatever I am, whichever environment I find myself in. Three, I was confident enough to approach the Beatrice Edu. And I didn't approach her in arrogance, but in humility. Four, Beatrice Edu was touched by what I did, Madame Beatrice Edu, and decided to give me an opportunity. And five, I was prepared. And so I was bold enough to take that opportunity to sit on the set with her. It was a red sofa.
Just
And
like
the
it.
first guest was called, he was with Harry Gonzalez. He used to be with Ghanaian Times. May he rest in peace. He was a partner that sat there. And because I didn't go, as you know, I wasn't confident about my look. I was wearing my father's shirt and some jeans and slippers. Thank God there was a red table
To cover the
the feet. So my head was buried in the newspaper and then reading the headlines. And so they felt I wasn't confident. Yeah, I wasn't that confident on that day, you know. But again, I went home. My dad told me that, you know what, if you get the next opportunity to go back on there, make sure, even if it's just 1 minute, make sure somebody remembers you for something. And I thank God, Madame Beatrice Edu told the producer that she would love to, you know, do it again with me again, you know. And I had the next opportunity, and the various opportunities. At a point, she decided to do just the presentation of the news and do human interest interviews, and left the newspaper review for me. And it just kept growing. And today I'm here.
Today you are here indeed.
Today I'm here.
Wow. Okay, so now let's talk about your books. You spoke about you doing the first book for Daddy. Yeah, so continuing.
No, that was my third book. That
was actually your
my third book.
Wow.
And it's the title of 50 Nuggets at 50. And there's a chapter in there that if only you could see me, Dad. And I you know, I poured my heart out to my dad. My first book was also born out of situation. I was raised to believe that you make the best of every situation. I remember growing up, my dad, I'll come and tell my dad that, oh, I didn't get this, and my friends have this. He said, listen, when they do that, tell them that you have a father who loves you very much. Loves you, takes care of you, will do everything for you, will sacrifice for you. Tell them. So he taught me that in every situation, look for that one thing that is working for you. In your lowest moment, look at that one thing. One thing. Today, there are people who remember me from GBC, you know, as a news presenter, people who can't speak English. And you know how they remember, oh, you're round the neck. You know, the lines in your neck. I remember the way you used to tie your duku. Or the way, the beads. There's always something that sometimes we just allow, you know, the little things or the things we don't have to break us and overlook the things that are working for us. So my dad just told me to look at that thing that will work for you. I mean, it was 2019, Easter. I was going for Edumasa. If my husband is what you say, he curses the day this thing happened, because every time I don't forget
you
it.
Talk about
it was 19th April. It was 9th April. It was Easter, and went to Edumasa. We were going to have children's party and all that. And then I slept in the bedroom, from the bathroom to the bedroom. I slept and broke my ankle, my right ankle. And I was in a cast of what people call PUP. I was supposed to be in there for 6 weeks. And if somebody had told me that, oh, I'll just say with 6 weeks, will just come, I mean, just to heal and all that.
Yeah.
But when it happened to you, it's different. It was very frustrating. I'm a very busy person. And I had just had my bundle of joy, my baby, my joy, you know, a child that I struggled to have. And this girl was all over me, and suddenly I can't let her come close to me because I'm afraid she'll come and, you know, hurt me. And it was horrible. I was actually pushed to depression. I became, you know, a shadow of myself, because one, I was wondering how this could happen to me. Second, I felt terrible that I can't let my daughter come close to me because of this. I mean, so many things were going on. And then I had started my program, A Bit of Me. Then somebody was sharing, you know, I think broadcast. I think she wasn't sending it to me. It was a he. Wasn't sending it to me directly, but it was just sending, broadcasting it. And I was in a video saying that life happens, and that in one time of your life, you find yourself running. Another time you find yourself walking. Another time you find yourself crawling. There will come a time that you'll be sitting. But even at that point when you're sitting, ask yourself, what can you do? That, my own words, were healing for me. So I said to myself, so what if I hadn't come across this video? What if I had a book that I could easily reach to read, to encourage me? I mean, God forbid that I compare it to the Bible, you know, but in times of, you know, if you're a Christian, you reach out for your Bible and you read. The same way we need inspirational, motivational books. So I decided to put my thoughts together. You know, I started writing it. I wrote that within 2 weeks, I'd put it together and I published it. And boy, on the first day, we sold 400 copies.
First day?
The first day that was released. Within 3 days, we sold 500 copies. That book, A Bit of Me, became #1 on Amazon in less than a week.
Wow!
Yes, that book in survival category. In less than a week, that book came out on my first book. And that's how, you know, my journey as an author started.
Also. If someone is watching and wants to be an author, can you take us through how you can get your book published?
You know, I tell people I'm not the best person to tell you how to be an author. My first book, A Bit of Me, a few publishing houses turned it down because they said it doesn't follow the structure of book writing. But the thing is, me, myself, I didn't follow the routine of being born. I was an accidental baby. I wasn't planned. My life had never been according to plan. You know, I'm not a conformist. I tell people I'm a born rebel. So I self-published it. And you know, I can't write on, you know, the iPad or tablet or whatever I did. I wrote all my 7 books, all of them, as God is my witness, on my phone.
All the 7 books?
All the 7 books. I write my books on phone, including the 8th one, which I'm writing, on my phone. The notes, you know, app, that's where I write my book. So I'm writing everywhere. There are times that people would just send me a message, Madam, sleep. I'm writing. I can sit up. My went strong. I think the Black Charlotte. I used 2 days to write it.
How many pages?
2 straight days. I didn't sleep.
How many pages?
It has 130-something pages.
In
2 days. I sat up. You know, there's something called the writer's, you know, spirit and the writer's block. If it comes and you don't write it, and it goes, you block that. It will go for, you know, it can go for years and then it's not coming. That's zeal. That's, you know, desire to write. It can just leave you, you know. But when it comes and you sit up, so I'm sitting in a car, I'm writing. You know, sometimes I stay in the bathroom, you know, sit down and write and typing, just writing my own thing, you know, just that's all. I love to. So there's a mark here. So every time it's writing, every time, you know, I'm writing, I write on this. So I don't, when you read my books, it's as if I'm talking to you, I'm sitting right in front of you. I tell people that even when I was presenting the news, I didn't read the news. I talked the news. I communicated the news. So I am writing and I'm imagining your response. The When Strong Women Cry. One of them, I write, when I write and I said, wait. That look on your face, change that look on your face. Don't even try to judge. So you can, and when you read that, you would definitely have a face. Because it was about a pastor's wife, you know, who was enduring so much, but in the public space, they were the perfect couple. Everything, you know, pastor would preach and even go and kiss, you know, pastor's wife, first lady, and all that. So when you're you definitely you go like, really, you know, that thing was like, hey, so this, so I just can calculate everything, because it comes from experiences. I host a show, I talk to people, I speak at, so it's really engaging, and it's really gets you involved. So I self-publish. For me, I only get you know, an editing consultant, do the editing, put the manuscript together, and I get a printer, print the book. You should print how many I can sell at every given time, and then go and reprint. But there are some people too who use, you know, publishing houses who will tell you that there's a format, there's this. My book, my point is, Chinua Achebe and the others, they wrote according to their passion, according to their culture, according to their beliefs. You know, they didn't follow any, you know, they introduced their local dialect. So my book, you read and you see chai, you see chale, you say waiting, you see all those things that I love to say. I mean, when I'm chatting with people, I say, you see it there. The only thing you will not see is the F word. That one I do some science to be there, you know. But you can guess what I'm trying to say. You know that. That's how I write. I believe that writing is a skill, it's an expression. People must be allowed to express themselves. So even with my editors, I tell them that, listen, I'm not, you know, teaching English in this book. This is not an English book. It's not a literature book, right? People are supposed to read and enjoy it. So don't make it perfect.
Has there been a moment that Auntie Gifty has sat down to say, I regret entering into journalism?
Regret, never. But I've had moments where I feel like I want to give up.
Why?
I feel like giving up. It's because, you know, it gets tiring. And sometimes you feel you're giving off your best. You're doing everything, yet the people you expect to see it don't seem to see it. You know, that's the funny aspect of it. And that's what I've come to understand. The people that I expect to see it don't see it. But the people who are supposed to see it. I'm a woman of faith. You know, I believe in God. I call myself a woman with super crazy faith in God. And God has this thing of dealing with me every time. Anytime I feel like giving up, somehow somebody comes up to say that, had it not been for you, you did this. I mean, last year after the Happy Feet giving shoes, I told myself, I've done enough. These shoes thing, I'm not going to do again. I'm not going to do this charity thing again. I think the Friday after my birthday, some of my daughters came and we were eating, and I had a call from a lady from the US. She was crying. She said she's been looking for my number. Bottom line, 12 years ago, I helped her go to school. I to go to school, and now she's in the US, well established, and she's been looking for me to come and say thank you. Irene, as I said here, I don't remember ever doing that.
But she remembers you.
But she remembers what I was wearing that day. She remembers the car I was driving. As for the car, I remember that I had that car. She remembers it was at the Accra Mall. You know, and I get that every time I meet people and they tell me that, oh, you did this program, you're a bit of me. Auntie Gifty, don't give up. If you give up, you know, most of us will look up to you. People say, I wake up every morning to check your status, to see if you have something, or to go to social media. And I'm like, God, okay, so what about me? Now let's talk, you know, what about me? When am I going to stop hustling, you know, before I get sponsorship, before I get this? But God deals with all of us in a different way. Once you're passionate about it, once you believe in it, once you know that you're doing it with a good conscience.
Okay, your last words.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been fun. You got me to talk about certain aspects of my life that I haven't talked about before, and some I haven't talked about in a long while. But I just want every young person watching especially to know that it's okay to dream. Don't look at your circumstances now. Dream, because anything and everything is possible. Don't limit yourself. Don't overrate yourself. Wherever you find yourself, do your best. Do your best. Every stage you are in life is a stepping stone. So never waste any opportunity. Every opportunity that you get, make the best out of it. And don't ever leave God out of anything. Always remember that God makes the difference. So parents, help your children. Boost their confidence. Boost their morale. And never talk down on them. They will make you proud one day. Trust me. God bless you.
Thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you
So I know
too.
you're a very busy woman, but because of the love you have for us, you are here today. You should have been somewhere, but because of the love, we appreciate you so much. We thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to talk to you. And it has been an educative time, a fun time, an amazing moment, and I'm definitely taking something home today, and I believe anyone watching out there has taken one or two from what you have said. I believe someone is going to make a very terrible or horrible decision. That person is rethinking because of something that you have said, and we appreciate you so much. Continue with the good work. We wish you more years ahead.
Amen.
And of course, 27 years, we say cheers to you.
Yay!
All right, so that will be all for this week's edition of the Career Trail right here on Joy Learning TV. My name is Irene Edubia Ainin. As we always say, the Career Trail, your success journey begins here. I leave you with today's quote.
The Career Trail, your success journey begins here.